What's up guys, my name is TechnoTuner and welcome back. Today we're taking a look at another test hands video today, but with Centur-ion Elfnote. I went through and updated the deck, incorporated some of the new cards such as June Pride and Elfnote Regina. While these cards offer up great amount of extension and further playability, it offers up so much good capability for the deck to even go beyond what it could prior. This deck has a lot of good capabilities in setting up turn 1 or turn 2 plays, being able to set up enough interruption and negation to really hinder your opponent, but also setting up enough beaters to OTK if you need to. While this deck has a lot of good capability, there is a few other changes that was made. Currently, in this build, there's no Medius the Pure played in it, as we really don't need it, as we can still cycle through the elf notes as we need to get to those further plays. However, there's other things such as the Centur-ion line that can allow us to get to Cipher, or even to a level 10 dragon that allow us to get a negation up during our opponent's turn through Crimson Dragon line. But enough of me talking. We're going to go ahead and take a look at three hands, of course. The first two of us going first, and then finally our last hand going second. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. All right, so our first hand is going to be Elfnote Regina, Elfnote Tinea, Centur-ion Primera, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and Nibiru the Primal Being. Now, do note you can swap these for what other hand traps you want. You don't have to be playing Ash and Nibiru. This current build is. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the Elfnote Tinea, special summon it to our main monster zone, or center main monster zone, and then we're going to activate the effect here to place where is it? Elfnote's Welcome Home. Then we're going to send the Tinea from our field to the grave to summon Regina. Regina effect, since it is summoned to the main monster zone, or main center monster zone, we can special summon a Elfnote monster from our deck. In this case, we can summon the Lucina, or we could go into Elfnote Power Patron. In this case, we're going to go into Elfnote Power Patron, allowing us further opportunity here. And then we can go with these two into a level 7 into Seraphirim. This will then trigger Regina, allowing it to add it back to our hand since it was used as a synchro material. And then Elfnote Power Patron, since it was used as it was sent to the graveyard as synchro material, we can add an Elfnote monster from our deck to our hand. We're going to add the Lucina. Then we'll go ahead and use Stritzia effect in New Chain, bring back the Power Patron. We'll synchro up into a level 8. This level 8, of course, is going to be our Crystal Wing. This way we get Nibiru protection. We're not going to put in the center monster zone because we kind of need this to go through so we can continue our plays. Next, we're going to go ahead and special summon the Elfnote Lucina to our center main monster zone. We have yet to normal summon here, so please remember that. But Lucina effect, we're going to go ahead and activate it to add us a Elfnote monster from our deck to our hand. We'll go ahead and add the Fortuna. Then what we can do here is we can send a monster. Let me adjust the camera here real quick. So we're going to go ahead and activate Welcome Home to send Lucina to the grave. So we can summon another Elfnote monster with a different original attribute from our deck and defense position. Now, you don't have to do this, but it's a way to get Tinea back out. So if you go through here, you can cycle through into your Tinea for further plays. Or what we can do is go into Ginaldo, the Shade Spirit Power Patron. That's even the better play here. Then what we can do, we're not going to place that in the center main monster zone. We're going to summon it off to the right in this case. Then we'll special summon the Elfnote Fortuna effect to place a trap from our deck face up on the board. We'll go ahead and place the Elfnote Rhapsodia of Madness. So we can send one monster from our hand or the field to the graveyard, then target one Elfnote monster in the graveyard with a different original attribute and special summon it. So we do have further plays with that as well. In this case, our best opportunity here is to go ahead, because what we can do we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Centur-ion Primera. Centur-ion Primera effect, since it was normal summon, we can add a Centur-ion card from our deck to our hand. In this case, we'll go ahead and add our stand-up Centur-ion. Then we'll utilize stand-up Centur-ion effect. If this card was activated this turn, you can send one card from hand to the graveyard and place one Centur-ion monster from your deck in your spell and trap zone. In this case, we'll go ahead and send the Nibiru because we don't really need that. And then we'll place in our spell and trap zone our Trudea. Trudea effect. We'll go ahead and summon it. We'll utilize Trudea effect again, placing it back in the back row to place in our back row. Now this one we can do a few things. In this case, we're going to go ahead and do Gargoyle 2 instead because it works a little bit more effectively when we need to. Then we'll go ahead and special summon Gargoyle 2 off its effect. Synchro with these two. So Gargoyle 2 and Primera will go into our level 12. Now this is the opportunity that you have to where you can go directly into your Auxilla, or you can go into your Crimson Dragon. In this case, we're going to go into Auxilla. Auxilla effect. It lets us add one Centur-ion card from our deck to our hand. So this is going to give us further opportunity here to see if we can get further plays. We're going to go ahead and add the Centur-ion True Awakening, which can further help us out because it'll give us a Omni Negate as well. So we'll go ahead and set that. But we'll go ahead and utilize Gargoyle 2. Since it was used as a synchro material, we can add it from our graveyard to our hand. And then what we can do next is go ahead and utilize Rhapsody of Madness because we have not utilized that. You can send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, target one Elfnote monster in your graveyard with a different original attribute and special summon it. Then if you control a synchro monster, you can negate the effects of one face-up card. So what we'll do is we can send the Gargoyle 2 because we have functionality to place it back during our turn if we get a Centur-ion card. More than likely we will, so it doesn't really matter. Plus we have the Trudea. So we'll go ahead and send the Gargoyle 2, and then target an Elfnote monster with a different attribute. We'll target the Power Patron, bring back the Power Patron. Utilize Power Patron effect to make Fortuna a level 9, and then synchro with these two into our June Pride. We'll next go ahead and utilize the effect of Ginaldo, banishing the top 3 face down, I believe. Let me read that again. It's been a while. Yep, face down, destroy it, and special summon Genora, the Power Patron of Tuning from your extra deck. So we'll go ahead and destroy the Genora to summon, or the Ginaldo to summon a Genora. And then we'll utilize Ginaldo effect, since it was sent from the field to the extra deck, to add one Power Patron or Elfnote card from our extra deck or face-up extra deck or graveyard to our hand, except that. In this case, we'll go ahead and add back our Power Patron. It gives us a little bit more capability here as we need it for further plays in case we don't have a normal summon. We'll go ahead and move to end step. Auxilla effect here, allowing us to place back the Primera in our back row. And then during our opponent's turn, what we can do is go ahead, special summon the Primera effect to get a Centur-ion card. And we can get either another stand-up or whatever we really need. But in this case, I'm going to grab a, wherever it is. Am I missing it? Oh, I banished it. So we're going to grab the Wake Up Centur-ion here instead. The other card I was looking for was the Ion Bonds. We're not going to worry about that. And then we'll utilize Trudea effect, summon it out, make it a level 8, and then we can synchro immediately off of stand-up Centur-ion here, go directly into our Crimson Dragon. Now, Crimson Dragon gives us the capability of tagging it out, and we can go directly into either Clearwing, Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon, which is a negate, to where once per turn when an opponent activates a monster effect, except during damage step, you can activate this effect until end this turn. This face-up card is unaffected by the activate effect of your opponent's monster. It also gains attack equal to an opponent's monster's original attack. Once per turn when a spell or trap card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card. If the Synchro Summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can target one wind monster in your you can add one wind monster from your deck to your hand, which gets you into Elfnote Regina, since she is a wind. But the other option we have here as well, you can go into Cipher targeting Auxilla, which can also give you additional protection, as it is also an Omni Negate, basically. Excuse me, it's not an Omni Negate, it is a Monster Negate. So in this case, you can still get protection off of that. In the one case that I'm going to utilize here, we're going to target June Pride and utilize Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, or Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, as it is a bit more beneficial. So we have the Omni Negate, which is Centur-ion Awakening. We have Genora, which basically, if we place any Elfnote monster, we have a negation. We have Rhapsodia. While your opponent controls a monster in your center main monster zone, your opponent's monsters cannot attack, except to attack that monster. You can send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, target one Elfnote monster in your graveyard with a different original attribute, special summon it, then give control of that synchro. Then if you control a synchro summon monster, you can negate the effect of one face-up card your opponent controls. So you already have one, basically a spell trap negate, and unaffected by that monster. Crystal Wing is a monster negate, a Omni negate, a way to summon back, and another negate. Your opponent can only attack in with the monster that is in the main monsters or center main monster zone, and you can basically tag out with Elfnote June Pride. We still have the Ash Blossom in hand, and we have the Regina to play around certain effects as well. So we have a lot of good capability with this deck, as we were able to set up a really good board going first. All right, that's all I got for the first test hand. Let's hop into the next one. All right, our next going first hand, we start out with Elfnote Power Patron, Elfnote Regina, Centur-ion Trudea, Elfnote Rhapsodia of Madness, and Centur-ion Gargoyle 2. So what we can utilize here is actually a lot. We'll go ahead and we can start off with the following. We'll go ahead and do Centur-ion Trudea effect. Trudea, well, we'll normal summon it, effect, place it in the back row to place a Primera. We'll then go ahead and special summon the Primera effect, grab a Wake Up Centur-ion. We'll next utilize the stand-up Centur-ion to where we can send one card from our hand to the graveyard, place one Centur-ion monster from our deck in our spell and trap zone. So we have opportunities here as well. In this case, we'll go ahead, and this is the center monster zone, just for people to know. There's a reason why I'm doing it this way. So we're going to go ahead. We can do that. We're not going to do it just yet. We'll hold off on that. We'll go ahead and activate Gargoyle 2, special summoning it by sending the Trudea. And then we can synchro up with these two into a level 12. This level 12 is, of course, going to be the Auxilla effect. If this card is special summoned, you can add one Centur-ion card from your deck to your hand, in which we'll go ahead and add let's see here. Trying to find which one it is that we want to utilize. We'll go ahead and get Emeth here. Emeth 6, if I remember correctly. Next, we'll go ahead and pitch the Elfnote Power Patron, special summon the Regina to the center monster zone. Regina effect, since it was special summoned to the main monsters or center main monster zone, we can special summon Elfnote monster from our deck. In this case, we'll go ahead and get the Tinia. Tinia effect, we'll go ahead and grab the spell, getting us a Elfnote's Welcome Home. We'll then utilize the Welcome Home to send the Tinia to summon out wherever it is. There we are. The second Elfnote Power Patron. We're not going to make it a level 10 here because we do have some other effects to do. We're going to go ahead and make this a level 7. Utilizing both of these. Go into Stretzelia. Effect of Regina to add it back. Power Patron to add. We're going to go ahead and add our Lucina from our deck to our hand. Then, of course, we're going to use Stretzelia, if I remember that is correctly. Yep. During the main phase quick effects, special summon level 6 or lower Elfnote monster from your hand to graveyard. We're not going to reduce levels, though. We're just going to special summon it back. Synchro with these two. Of course, into our Crystal Wing. Now we have protection from Nib if we need to. Then we're going to go ahead and special summon our Lucina. Lucina effect. And add our Fortuna. Next, we'll go ahead and do Stand-Up Centur-ion. Discard the Emeth. To allow us to special summon from our deck. Well, place one from our deck. Excuse me, not special summon. We're going to place the Centur-ion Autry. Autry effect. Special summon it. We can only special summon it once per turn, like all the other Centur-ion cards here. But we're not going to worry about that, as we're going to basically take these two, synchro, into a level 10, which is going to be our June Pride. We're not going to put in center monster zone just yet, as we can go ahead and special summon the Fortuna. Fortuna effect, to place from our hand the Rhapsody of Madness. So it's a little bit weaker here. We are kind of stuck on that part. However, we do have other opportunities here. All right. And then let's see. We've already went through all our effects. Making sure of that. The main thing is that you want to do is make sure Elfnote June Pride's in the center, main monster zone. So you do have some opportunity here as to where you kind of want to hold off on this. Since we've already utilized Welcome Home, this kind of traps us a bit here. But we do have other opportunities as well, because I'm just now realizing that we still have Rhapsodia effect to activate if we need to. So what we do is take Fortuna here and bring out Stretzelia. Okay, we have a level 7 on lock. We'll go ahead and utilize Auxilla at the end step, placing in our back row Primera. Then our opponent's turn, we'll go ahead and special summon the Primera effect to go ahead and add us from our deck to our hand another Centur-ion card. We'll go ahead and add the Ion Bonds. We do have the opportunity to synchro here, This is where the fun part is, where you take Elfnote, Seraphim, Stresselia, and Centur-ion, uh, well, Primera, and go into Psychic End Punisher and force them to attack into it with June Pride, which is really funny nonetheless. But you do have other opportunities here in which you can go ahead and utilize Centurion MF4 here and step a bigger body as well for defense if you need to. Or yeah, I think the safer option here would be take these two and go into Psychic and Punisher. Because while your life points are less than or equal to your opponent's, the Synchro Summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, target one monster you control, and one card your opponent controls, banish them. At the start of the battle phase, you can make this card gain attack equal to the difference between you and your opponent's life points. So basically, we could just make it really stupidly big. We'll just place this over here instead. We're not going to make it stupidly big, but we do have the opportunity here where we can also go Quick Effect, Elfnote Regina, send June Pride, Regina Effect, and then Special Summon one Elfnote monster from our deck, which could be the Tinia here. But you do also have the option here to where you can go Tinia Effect to place it, or switch locations and banish one random card from your opponent's hand, and then utilize Rhapsodia Effect to send it to bring back out June Pride, where June Pride can now trigger its effect since it's in the main monster zone, being able to play around that. So you do give a little bit of more opportunity here and there to where you can still play around certain effects and force your opponent to attack directly into June Pride instead, while also having a Pep on board, which makes it even funnier if you want to place Pep in the center monster zone and just keep it with June Pride on board. Does give you more opportunity. No worries about that. This is where one of those boards where I'm kind of like, I should play a third Power Patron, as I have the capability to revive it back. But nonetheless, this still does offer up a really good board. It makes it very difficult for your opponent to really deal with in general. But that's all I got for the second going first test hand. Let's see what this deck can do going second. All right, for our going second hand, we draw into an Emblema Oath, a Elfnote Lucina, a Centurion MF6, an Elfnote Regina, an Elfnote Lucina, and then for our next turn's draw, we draw the Elfnote Tinia. So we have a lot of good starters here, in which can get us rolling. Now, we're going to go ahead and start with the Emblema Oath, of course, to get us the Centurion Primera in our back row. We'll activate the Centurion Primera, special summon it, adding us a stand-up Centurion. We'll next go ahead, stand-up Centurion effect to allow us to basically summon another, place another in our back row by discarding a card. In this case, we'll discard the MF4, allowing us to place a Trudea effect to summon it, and then utilize its effect to place it back in the back row, and place a Gargoyle 2. We'll place the Gargoyle 2, utilize the Gargoyle 2 effect, special summon itself, synchro with these two into a level 12. Of course, that level 12 will be the Oxilla, or if you're really wanting to pop a card, you go into Legatia, because it does get you a draw 1, and then you can destroy the monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. But the Oxilla also gets us the capability of adding a Centurion card from our deck to our hand. So it's more along the lines of what do you wish to play, as we'll be able to get through a bit more of the board depending on the hand that you have. We're going to go Oxilla because we want to make sure we have the recovery if we need to. We'll utilize Oxilla effect to add a Centurion card. In this case, we'll go ahead and add the Autry 2, as this will also give us a card draw since we have a Centurion monster in there. But we also do get the Gargoyle 2 effect since it was used as synchro material to add it back from graveyard to hand. So we have a decent board already established here without really even going into our Elfnote cards. Next, we're going to go ahead and start with our Elfnote Tinea, effect of Tinea, to place in our back row our Welcome Home. We'll next go ahead and utilize Welcome Home to send Tinea to summon Fortuna. Fortuna effect to place the Elfnote Rhapsody of Madness. Then we'll go ahead and utilize Regina here, sending the Fortuna Regina effect to summon from our deck since it's in the center monster zone. So we'll summon the Power Patron, Elfnote Power Patron. We'll go ahead and synchro into our 7 here. As you guys know, we're going to go into Strepsilia. We'll put in attack since it's in the center monster zone. Then we have Power Patron 1, Regina 2, Regina to add back from graveyard. Elfnote Power Patron to add a Elfnote monster. We'll add Ginaldo, as is considered a Elfnote card. We'll place Ginaldo in our extra monster zone, or in our pendulum zone. Excuse me, not our extra monster zone. We'll place in our pendulum zone because we're going to utilize Strepsilia effect to bring back the Power Patron, Elfnote Power Patron, which triggers Ginaldo, allowing us to draw 2, discard 1. So we'll draw 2, and then the card we can discard here is we'll discard a Lucina, as we don't really need it right now. Since we special summon the Power Patron, it would pop this, then draw the 2, and discard 1. Ginaldo effect allowing us to add a Elfnote card from our graveyard to our hand, or from our face-up extra deck to our hand. In this case, we'll go ahead and we'll add back the Tinea. Then what can we do from here? Well, we'll synchro these 2, of course, into our level 8. We can do Crystal Wing here, giving us further protection for monster effects. Then we'll go ahead, special summon the Lucina effect, giving us another monster in hand. We'll go ahead and grab our Elfnote Power Patron. We'll next normal summon for our turn, Centur-ion Autry. That would be this way. Yeah. Okay. Centur-ion Autry effect. Since we this card's no more special summon, and you have both an Emblema and a Centurion card in our graveyard, which we do, because we have the Emblema Oath and a Centurion monster. At least we get to draw 1. Well, that card decided to come with it. Elfnote Regina is our draw. Next, we can go into a level 10 if we want to. We can also bring back off of Elfnote's Rhapsody of Madness into another monster. But our best option here so far would be to go ahead and take Centur-ion Autry and Elfnote Regina. Take these 2, go into a level 10, being June Pride. Now hold with me. I know a lot of you are like, well, why did you do that? Why is this going on? Because we do have the effect of Centurion Gargoyle 2. We didn't special summon it through its effect. So we can send one face-up Centurion card we control to our graveyard, special summon this card from a hand. So we're going to go ahead and special summon it from our hand by sending the Trudea. Doesn't have the effect of where it can only be special summoned once per turn outside of that effect. So we'll go ahead and special summon it that way. We'll activate Rhapsodia effect here. We will send one of the Reginas to the graveyard. And bring back the Elfnote Power Patron. Now we do have the opportunity to increase or decrease its level. This is where I kind of did mess up here, because what you want to do is have the Gargoyle 2 in the main monster zone, so you can increase its level, make it Crimson Dragon, because this can make it a level 8 to a level 11, which can help you out a lot. So please don't do what I just did, where you summon June Pride to the center monster zone unless you're planning on utilizing its effect. which you can still do here. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, let's go ahead and do it. So we'll tag it out, June Pride effect, right? So we'll hold on to the Rhapsodia for right now, or Regina, and keep the Rhapsodia effect. Send back the Elfnote June Pride to summon up to one Elfnote monster from each from hand, deck, and graveyard. In this case, we'll go ahead and summon our Power Patron from hand, our Regina. I don't think they have to be of different names either. Yeah, they don't even have to be of different names. So we'll bring back another Elfnote Power Patron. Then what we can utilize here is its effect. Make this a level 9. Synchro up into our level 10. Where we could do Sword Soul Shanging or Genora. It's really dependent here, because we do have further opportunities and other things to utilize. I think June Pride's going to be our best option here, because it does force, I think, both of us to attack. Yep, neither player can declare attacks, so we're going to go into the Genora instead. We'll do Genora, because that way we're not locking ourselves with only one attack. But we do have further opportunity here to where we can do other plays, as we can utilize Rhapsodia. We can send one monster from our hand or field to the graveyard, target one Elfnote monster in our graveyard with a different original attribute, and special summon it. So we're not going to summon that to the center monster zone. We'll summon Seraphirim by sending the Gargoyle to, or Stretzelia. And then we have further plays there. We can go into another level 8, where it allows us to go into Primera Primus, where we could take both of these, go into Primera Primus effect. We can add one Emblema card from our deck to or graveyard to our hand and destroy 2 cards on the field. If a face-up Centur-ion card control leaves the field by its opponent's card effect, while its card is in your graveyard, special summon it. So what we'll do here instead is add a Centur-ion card. We'll add the Awakening. And then we can pop 2 cards, 1 on each field. We'll pop the stand-up Centur-ion to pop a card on our opponent's field, so they're already down 1. We have the stand-up Centur-ion to activate again, which is really good. As we have already went through all our effects here, we have the Centur-ion True Awakening and the Emblema Salvation to also further board break if we need to. But what we can do here still is go battle phase, swing 31, 26, 3k plus the boosted attack if it swings over a level 5 or higher, and then the 3k as well. This gives us further capability to basically swing for game, but if we don't, we have enough recursion and recovery, because Centur-ion True Awakening sets itself, and we'll set the Emblema Salvation, as those are the cards we had in hand. And then at the end step, we'll place the Primera in our back row, so we can utilize it during our opponent's turn, to where during our opponent's turn, of course, we Primera effect to add the Ion Bonds for further recovery. But we also have the opportunity here as well to where we can take that level 4. We're not going to utilize the Primera Primus because it is a tuner. Or if you want to do it other way, you can utilize the Autry that's in our graveyard because it can be considered a non-tuner. So we would keep the Primera in grave, right? Summon the Autry. We wouldn't get the Ion Bonds. Autry would give us the effect to draw one. So let's see what we draw here. I'll shuffle up real quick. We draw an Emblem of Oath, which is even funnier. And then we can synchro with these two because Autry could be considered as a non-tuner into our level 12 Crimson Dragon. And then we can utilize Crimson Dragon to either target the Genora or the Auxilla. And we can go into either Cipher Dragon, or we can go into the Clearwing Synchro, or Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon, which gives us even more opportunity to mess with our opponent. We also still have the Emblema Salvation and Centur-ion True Awakening that can still further affect our opponent as well, which further breaks even more stuff. So right there, you have a lot of good capability for going second board to further break your opponent's board, let alone prevent them from playing or having an easy time of playing. This deck has so many different gateways and possibilities that it's hard to capture all of it for the end board. Just do note that this deck is a lot and has a lot of good playability. But anyways, that's all I got for the test hands. Let's hop into a little bit of review on the deck. Alright, so what's the good things about this deck? Well, the deck offers up a lot of different play paths, which are very high level and give you such a high ceiling with the deck to where while you can establish basically the same end board, you have a lot of other opportunities from board breaking to further deck breaking. When I say deck breaking, you are basically preventing them from playing through either monster negation, spell and trap negation, preventing them from attacking outside of the monster center main monster zone. You have a lot of good control, but you also have a lot of good beaters with that aspect. Outside of that, what else does the deck include? Well, the deck unto itself includes so much more on top of that, where it gives you further capability here to where it can further break down your opponent's board and has the resilience to come back and still play after that. You have so much good aspects in this deck as a whole to where if you even ran cards that gave you more draw power, more popability, and all stuff like that, you have the opportunity to do that as it has enough space and malleability to where it can be modified to best fit your own playstyle. What's the cons? Well, you are synchro locked. You are summoning out a lot of bodies, so you have to pay attention to Nibiru, and you have to pay attention to Clown Crew, as they can really hurt your board at certain points. If they do stop you on the Graveyard Revival of the Elfnote Power Patron, it can slow you down a bit to where you won't have as much protection, but you can still play through it. Now, what are the other things I would note? Well, while June Pride is really good in being able to get you more monsters back onto the board to further play with and further interact and build your board, it does come with a major weakness in making it to where only you and your opponent can only attack with the monster in the center main monster zone. So if you set yourself up poorly, you can end up hurting yourself more than you would expect. Aside from that, this deck has so much good possibility for the actual ceiling to where it can go even beyond what I currently have here, incorporating Forbidden Crowns, Molcharmy Fualos, etc. This deck is really fun to play nonetheless. I've been experimenting with it all week and have had nothing but good results. Maybe 1 to 2 dead hands out of like 20. It's very rare I see a dead hand or a way that I can't play the game, because this deck gives me so many different opportunities to further work around and further play around different hand traps and interactions. From being able to draw 2 Turdea to 3 Regina. Like, you have other options in your hand to further get you the extension that you need to continue your plays. And that is something that I really enjoy about this deck, is even though it may feel bricky at times, you have that consistency that can give you the further opportunity to break beyond that limit and push for something that is so cool in perspective to where it offers up so much more. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today's test hands. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.